Well, how about if I unmute? It's always something. Nice job. Still seeing the static. Max is having trouble seeing. Uh-oh. Now I have an echo. Okay. Got rid of the echo in my ears. So, sorry folks for all the distractions and the technical issues. Let's see. Terry says it works, so okay. I guess it works a lot better when I actually unmute the microphone. Okay, Max is good. I'm hoping that Maria Boyles will join the chat room. I saw her on Facebook, so let me quickly just send her a note. Facebook.com/DisciplesLifeTV. I had to click on the watch your YouTube message. Okay, that's good to know. Let's see. Write a comment. Join the chat at www.discipleslife.tv/chat. Okay, so good morning, everybody. We got a little bit of a late start. We're about 4 minutes in, and we haven't seen any Proverbs yet. So I had this all worked out in my head. It was going to be great. I had the intro figured out. My wife put together some beautiful music, and it doesn't work if you don't hit the unmute button. So I think I need to create a better checklist. This one didn't seem to work very well. Okay, so welcome to those that have joined. We're glad to have you. Well, I'm glad to have you. Hope you're having a good morning. And so thinking about what we're going to talk about today, I was inspired yesterday at the church service. As it turns out, there were several people about 30 plus people that went from our congregation to the Philippines for what they called a servecation, which is where they serve. They were building houses and kitchens and handing out goodie bags and also intermixing with almost 4,000 disciples from the Philippines. They came everywhere from all over. There's about 2,500 disciples in Manila, the Manila church, and that's approximately the same area where the meetup was. And the title of the conference was Ignite, which was really impacting to a lot of people. It was not only standing room only, it was sitting room only, so it was really great. The point being is Gary mentioned a proverb. Gary Shawshaw is the lead evangelist here in the Phoenix church. And he mentioned a proverb, and I thought that would be a really great one to kick off our Quiet Time show. So with that said, we're going to look at the first part of Proverbs chapter 4. Now, I've got some really great software that I'm going to share my screen with here shortly. It's called Logos. I know some of you are familiar with it. If you're not familiar with it, it is, and I'm not getting any sort of kickback for promoting them, but I just really like the software. And they have a free version at logos.com/ I've forgotten the URL, logos.com/basic. That's right. So you can grab that, and there are about 25 free books, Bible translations, and different commentaries. Now, I did not take a look and see what's in that package, so I'm not familiar with all of the details. But I have Logos at a higher level because I like to dig deep, and I know some of you do too. But it's not cheap, guys. It's expensive. The free version will work, and so if I show something on the screen that you don't see in your program, let me know in the chat room so that I can sort of tweak what I'm showing, and because I'd like you to follow along if you can. That's great. Otherwise, you just follow on screen. Hopefully, the screen resolution will be good enough that you can read what I'm reading. So. That being said, let's kick on over to Logos. Let's see, which camera button did I program for Logos? There it is. Okay, there's logos. I've got my coffee, and I've got logos, and I think we're ready to go. So this is the home page of logos. So let's look at, let me bring this over here a little bit closer where I can see. Pardon the coffee break. Got to wet my whistle with all this talking. So this is the home screen of logos. If you can see it, I hope everybody can see it. I'm not sure. Can somebody let me know in the chat room if you can see this? Now, the basic version of logos ships with a Bible called the Lexham English Bible, and it's supposed to be. I did a little bit of research on it. It's supposed to be similar to the NIV in that it was created to be a high fidelity translation. Terry says it looks good. Okay, great. I hope you can read it when we get to the good parts. Yep, Max says it's good. Great. Okay, so we're finally getting the ball rolling in the right direction. Fantastic. Okay. So anyway, the Lexham English Bible is supposed to be a high fidelity translation of the original Greek, Hebrew, and Aramaic. I haven't compared it to the standard that I like to use, the NIV, the 2011 version. So what we can do today is we can look at both, because the Lexham, if I didn't say it already, the Lexham English translation or Lexham English Bible comes free with logos, and it appears to be a pretty good reference. Let's compare. If you want to use the NIV or a particular Bible of your choice that doesn't ship with Logos Basic, you can buy them for $9.99, I think. Again, I don't get any affiliate kickbacks or anything from Logos for promoting the software. I just really like it. So, and that's what we're going to use. So I'm going to look up right here in this Go box. We're going to go... Proverbs 4. Okay. It appears to be live again. Okay, let me put that in the chat room. Okay, streams are flowing again. Okay, so I will continue. Mute this. Mute this tab, and I will move this where I can keep an eye on it. Okay. Again, sorry for the delay here, everybody. Hopefully we'll get the bugs worked out as we go. Okay. What do we got? Everything is up and running again. Okay, thank you, Max. Okay, so now that we're 17 minutes into a 30-minute quiet time, shall we look at the show or the text? So anyway, as I was saying, Young's literal translation, if you can see it on my screen, is Old English. It's a literal translation. So, but it's Old English. So how useful is that? I don't find it very useful. The Message Bible, on the other hand, is what they call a paraphrased Bible, and I really like it because it reads well. Now, it's paraphrased, so you can't take it literally, of course, but it's a good read. It's an easy read. It's easy for little kids to understand, too. So what I sometimes like to do is, especially if I'm in an emotional part of Scripture, I will flip over to this Message Bible and see how it reads in a paraphrase, because it sometimes gives it a little more flavor. So, oh, you're not looking at my Bible. Oops, wrong button. I'll get it right. Sorry. I need to label, and I need to label all my buttons here, apparently. So, okay, getting there. We are slowly figuring out the bugs. I guess what do you want for an inaugural episode, right? You're going to have some glitches. Let's see if we can get through Proverbs 4, though. I can't get in. Terry, if you could explain what you mean by that, I will take a look and see what the trouble is. What do you mean? Okay, so I'm going to open up the Lexham English Bible because that's the translation you're going to get with Logos Basic. And you can abbreviate LEB, Lexham English Bible. So I'm going to open that, and that should open up here. Oh, it opened in a different section over here. Okay. So this is the LEB. I'm going to move this over to the NIV so you can kind of see it. And I'm going to turn off this down here. In this area is the original Hebrew. So let's see. No worries here. You're doing okay. Thanks. Appreciate it. So in here there is a translation. The surface is this line is what the English version. Okay. All right. Terry's back online. Okay, good. It's the English translation of the underlying scripture. Now, this MSS is the actual words that were on the original scrolls. So you can see that this is the original Hebrew. This is the transliteration of a Hebrew, which is to say, this is how, if you know how to read these different symbols. Let me make this a little bit bigger so we can see. Okay, there, that's a little bit better. So this transliteration is if you know how to use these symbols to like in a dictionary, how to pronounce things. That's how you would sound out what the Hebrew is if you don't speak Hebrew, which I don't. And so, and then the lemma translation, a lemma. What a lemma is. I know we're not getting too far into Proverbs, but hopefully we got about 7 minutes to go. Maybe this will just be a tour of Logos for now. Lemma is the dictionary form of the word, and the reason why that's important is because let's say you are wanting to do a search on faith, but you also want to see scriptures where faithful comes in, or faithfulness, or faithless comes in. If you do a search on the lemma, which we'll get to at some point, I'll demonstrate, it will bring up all of those passages. So again, Logos is a really powerful tool. Anyway, so the Strong's numbers, if you're familiar with Strong's, and then the sense is, it took me a minute to figure out what that was. Let me show you on the screen here. Oops, wrong button. There we go. The sense is the sense of the word. It's what does it mean in terms of making sense. So it's, if you can think of it, you know how in English words tend to mean different things depending on the context that they're in, or in the sentence structure. And so the folks at Faith Life who created Logos have given us the advantage of knowing what the sense is of the word that we're trying to look at. So that's what this interlinear paragraph is, and I can turn that off so we can get it out of the way for now. And I've got a visual filter going here, so let me turn that off so it's not in the way. Let's see, the low night of filters. There we go. So we just clean stuff up. Okay, so back to the NIV, because that's where I spend most of my time. And now that we've got about 7 minutes to go, we'll finally do a quiet time. Hopefully the streams will stay streaming. So let's get back over to the Bible here. I left the transliteration open, the interlinear open with so we can the original Hebrew and the transliteration and the lemmas. So if we see a word that we want to focus on, we can quickly see what the transliteration is and what the original Hebrew is, and we can do a lookup to see what it actually meant, or what some synonyms might be, or how it may have been translated in a different way in various parts of the Bible. So let me read this. It says, let me actually blow this up just a little bit. Or maybe that's a little bit easier to read. And I will turn off the interlinear so we can see the most of it. And I'm going to close this commentary for now. The New Bible Commentary is a good commentary. I don't know if it comes with basic, but we're probably going to dig in that soon. But I'm going to close it for now so we can see the most of the NIV. So let's read this. It says, "Listen, my sons," and of course this is by a proverb by Solomon, the wisest man who ever lived. So it's probably wise to listen to him. It says, "Listen, my son, to a father's instruction. Pay attention and gain understanding. I give you sound learning, so do not forsake my teaching. For I too was a son to my father, still tender and cherished by my mother. Then he taught me, and he said to me, take hold of my words with all of your heart. Keep my commands, and you will live. Get wisdom, get understanding. Do not forget my words or turn away from them. Do not forsake wisdom, and she will protect you. Love her, and she will watch over you. The beginning of wisdom is this: get wisdom. Though it costs you all you have, get understanding. Cherish her, and she will exalt you. Embrace her, and she will honor you. She will give you a garland to grace your head, and present you with a glorious crown." Okay, so there's a couple of spots in here that I wanted to look at. First of all, let me show you a couple of symbols. These symbols right here, if you can see these are somebody speaking, and if you hover over them, you can see who it was. It's a person, it's a man. If I hover over the person, it should show me more information. So let's click on it. And if over here in the fact book, we're going to get a whole bunch of research. Now, this research that Logos is doing in a matter of seconds would have taken scholars hours to look up. Can you imagine a library like we have of over 4,000, almost 4,500 books, to dig through all of those books and find relevant bits? Well, this fact book that we're looking at is it shows you all of that research right up front. So we can look. The Spark chart, for example, tells us where it appears most in the Bible, and this one happens to appear in Ecclesiastes. The lemma does, and remember, a lemma is the dictionary form of the word. And if we want to look up any more information on any particular section, which we'll do shortly, I'll show you how useful this fact book can be. So I wanted to start right here at sound learning. Now, I can do a quick look up over here. It's going to give me a definition of sound from the Merriam-Webster College Dictionary. I hope you can read that. It says, English from Old English, akin to Old High German, free from inquiry, exhibiting normal health. Let me click on that and make it bigger. Free from flaw or defect or decay. Free from error, fallacy, or misapprehension. Exhibiting or based on through knowledge and experience. So that's sound. Let's go back to the NIV. Sound learning. I'm interested in why he used the word learning instead of teaching. So here's an example of where we can do a lookup. So I'm going to right click on here, and I'm going to go over to learning, and I'm going to look at the different ways that it was translated throughout the Bible. So I'm going to click on this. This wheel right here will tell me something. I'll show you. I'm going to do a Bible word study. Now this opens up another tab called the Bible word study. Again, this is hours and hours and hours of research. So this is the lemma in the middle, and it's translated as teaching or instruction. Now, if you look around this wheel, it tells you that there are many other translations depending on the context. So here's sound learning. This is the one that we're just looking at. Okay. but there's also persuasive words and teaching. And that's the word that I was expecting to see. Teaching, not sound learning. So it can be translated as teaching. If I click on it, I will get more information about teaching. In the Baker Encyclopedia of the Bible, it translates it as learning and teaching. So, and learning again and instruction. So we can see the different ways it's translated, and this is what we call a spark chart of where that Hebrew word appears the most. And as you can see, if I hover over, it appears the most in Proverbs 6. So that may be what we do tomorrow. Okay, well, that's the end of our half hour. Sorry that we had some technical issues at the beginning. I will continue to endeavor to smooth those out. In the meantime, I hope this was at least somewhat useful. I didn't get into Proverbs 4 the way I intended because we got taken up by technology. So maybe we'll revisit this in a future date. So anyway, thanks for joining in the chat room. Thanks for the feedback. Please let me know what you would like to have a study on. You can do that by using the hashtag exploring scripture, either in Facebook or on Twitter. Gotta get Logos. Yeah, it's definitely good. And since it's free, or $9.99 for the NIV, if that's your flavor, or whatever you like, it's hard to beat. So anyway, you could also email feedback at discipleslife.tv. I really would like to hear from you, so please let me know, how I can improve other than the technical issues. Some of those may be beyond my reach. I may have to go with a different provider, but we'll see. I'll play with it today and do some test streams and see if I can figure out what went wrong and how to prevent it from happening again. It looks like we're doing okay now for the last 20 minutes or so. Anyway, let's bring this in for a landing. I really appreciate everybody joining us today, and we'll let it go. So again, give us the feedback that you, whether you like the show, whether you have comments on how we can improve. Obviously, doing more digging in scripture is the point, not playing with technology. And I will figure out which buttons to press, because I just realized I wasn't on camera this whole time I was talking. So I've got some learning to do. Anyway, have a great day, guys. Hope this was a blessing to you. And hopefully we'll talk again tomorrow. Same bat time, same bat channel. Have a good one. Bye.